Okay. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. I'm excited because in this hot seat coaching moment, we've got the one, the only Coach Letty, your lifestyle love coach. And so today we're going to be talking about some new revelation in her amazing business. I'll let her share with you who she is, how she serves, and you should be very familiar with her anyways, because she hangs out in a lot of the spaces where I am. But I'm excited, especially because she has discovered something that is going to push her already amazing business to another level, and she's going to be able to serve her clients at a higher level. So Coach Letty, please just very briefly share with everybody who you are, what you do, and let's get started. Now, you and I briefly had a discussion about some of the ways that you would like to transition and shift in your business, and off the top of my head, I did not review that on purpose, so that in this moment I can just tell you what I'm feeling, where I feel God is leading. I'm gonna say us to help you in your coaching business so that you can provide this more expanded, exclusive, and very intentional and customized experience for your clients. So why don't you go ahead, share with everybody who you are and how you serve.
Hey, blessings, everyone. It's your lifestyle love coach, Letty here. I am the fire recharge lifestyle love coach that's been given a mandate by God to equip and empower Christian wives to be, to conquer their enemy so that they can become triumphant wives of purpose, right? I equip them to destroy those personal yokes, those generational yokes, societal yokes, religious yokes around the ideologies and myths of love. I empower them to cultivate harmony of love and oneness with our amazing God, y'all, so that you can thrive in love, triumph in life, ministry, and as you pursue your kingdom business. So I am so excited about what God has given me, but I'm even more excited, y'all, about what He is transitioning me into in the upcoming calendar year. So over to you, Coach Kelly.
All righty. So y'all, you already heard, and I'll make sure that for those of you that are watching this on YouTube and even get wind of this in the podcast, that her contact links, I'll make sure that I have all of those available to you. This is somebody that you're definitely going to want to connect with. So that being said, okay, I know recently you had a workshop where you are helping women, wives, really get on the inside. It's an introspective look as to who they are so that they can be better for their spouses, but not just better for them spouses, better for themselves as they grow closer to God. So why don't you go ahead and share with me a little bit about what's going on and what your thoughts are, and let's brainstorm and see where we can see opportunities for you to grow and expand in your business while you're offering a better experience for your clients.
Okay, so the workshop I did was called Conquer Your Enemy of the Inner Me, right? So that you can become greater in what God has called you to. And so during that workshop, it was so powerful because God had us digging into those roots, right? We spoke about the roots of rejection, pride, and fear, because those are the primary roots that the enemy uses, because out of those roots are many branches of other emotional attachments. So it was really great because we got a chance to do some soaking and really ask God that different elements that come with the spirit of fear, pride. I broke down the different elements of that: family, friends, society, religious organizations or leadership. And then I did that for all the different areas. And then I broke down the emotional attachments to those spirits. And so as we soaked, we got to look to see what emotional attachments are still connected to those spirits, right? Or not, right? Or just things that God and Holy Spirit would reveal to you during that hour. So it was just really, really an amazing time, amazing workshop. You know, the women there were just like surprised. I mean, I don't think people think about the emotional attachments to things in their lives, because we just say, oh, this is the spirit of this. Well, what's the emotional attachment to that? Look, and then I just gave, there are many, but I just just gave the most common ones so that you can look to see which ones you identify with. And if in that time of soaking, Holy Spirit would reveal to you something else. And so at the end of that, God was like, you need to do a boot camp. Now, conquering your enemy is the first phase of my bigger program, Triumphant Wives of Purpose, because in that phase, we go through what God has given me as the GAP method, right? You are now coming into God's ordained alignment for the purpose and plan that he has for your life. And so we go through the planning, the preparing part where you're identifying all of these things. And so the Lord was like, okay, let's do a boot camp. And so I thought, okay, wow, that would be great, because as we go into that first phase, it's already part of the program anyway. And so this allows people to just go into those places. And then also when they want to work deeper and go deeper into those things and come into the alignment to reframe and renew your mind, right? Because that's the plan that we have to now align with God so that we can truly walk out the purpose, right? So the elements are preparing, the planning and processing, and the purpose. So in the midst of that whole element of the program, you get to go through those different tiers, right, in the bigger program. So the boot camp thing was like, okay, I didn't think about that. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's get these women at least acknowledging, right? Because what we acknowledge will begin to deem the enemy more ineffective, because he doesn't want us aware, right? He doesn't want us to know the things that are keeping us or hindering us, because for some people it's too painful. For some, it's really emotional. So you don't really want to go into those depths, right? Some of things people are suppressing, right? So we spoke about things that the enemy do: suppress, oppress, and depress, right? 3 elements that he uses around the emotional attachments and the spirits. Like, you see how he gets so, when the Bible says he's crafty, he's very, very crafty on how he uses elements to keep us bound. So in the workshop, we didn't get to touch into all of the things, because it's only a short amount of time. And so the boot camp is the entryway into going into the deeper dive.
Okay, so the deeper dive overall is the Triumphant Wives of Purpose program. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you are using this kind of like as an ascension. You're not kind of like, you are using this as an ascension, a way. First they join the workshop, then they're joining the boot camp. And then the next step is going to be the Triumphant Wives of Purpose, your coaching program. Right. That's how you're seeing this. Okay. So let me ask you a question. When you did the workshop, what was the call to action at the end? What was the offer? What did I do? The call to off. What did I do? The call to action was before the boot. What was the next step? Thanks for doing the workshop. This is what I want.
The next step was to sign up to do a purpose strategy call.
Okay.
That's what it was. I was like, what? Because I don't think I introduced the boot camp. But okay. It was the purpose strategy call, because that's where we get to really start to lay out those things for.
Okay. Let me ask some questions. So the workshop, there was a fee attached to that, correct?
Yes.
The purpose strategy call, was there a fee attached to that?
Yes.
Okay. And were there conversions? You don't have to tell me what the rate was, but were there conversions from the workshop to the purpose strategy call? Did you get people? No. Okay. The purpose strategy call, was it less than the workshop?
No.
It was more than the workshop. Okay.
It was more than the workshop.
Okay. Okay. So I will tell you this, that and this is because you didn't have the boot camp, you hadn't thought about that yet.
Well, it was in there. I just was looking at how to carry that out. So that was going to be the presentation after the strategy call.
The boot camp. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So so now what is your question? What is your ultimate question for this right here? For us talking right now. Ultimately, what is the question? What is your desired result after you and I are done today?
My desired result is really laying out laying out the process for the boot camp.
Okay. So tell me you said those 4 P's: preparing, planning, process, and purpose. Where were those? Were those in the workshop, or were those part of the boot camp?
Part of the boot camp.
Great. Okay. I love those. I love those. Okay. So this will be my thought. The next time you this is easy to me. This is easy. I would eliminate the strategy call.
Okay.
You can have that as an offer, but also, so I know you're a part of the Impeccable Impact Mentorship Community. Go back to the videos that we have for the Scale to Soar course that's in that community. I want to say it's the second video where we talk about conversion calls. Listen to those again. But the reason why I brought that up is because good coaching, it definitely starts with a call, but I'm not sure that having people go from a group setting to a one-on-one setting to another group setting, it would be the best course of action for that. I will continue to offer that strategy call because people will get it. Listen, I do not even right now promote my strategy call, and I have people that book that strategy call. I don't think I mentioned my call in weeks or months. And I literally tomorrow have somebody that booked a call. I'm like, oh, okay. And he won't be he won't be a client of mine, but I have somebody that paid for and booked a strategy call. He's a pastor. Needing a little bit of direction. So I've got a couple people I'm going to direct him to, should he be ready to move forward with one-on-one coaching. But I think if you've gathered people in a workshop setting and your intent is to continue having them in group settings, keep them in group settings. So I love the idea of the boot camp. I don't really think you already got this, the order might be wrong, but that preparing, the planning, the process, and the purpose, I think those make for great sessions for your people. I would make it maybe a 6-week boot camp so that first week you can have an intro week, and then that last week you can have a Q&A, accountability, that sort of thing. But I think that, your workshop should funnel into, I'm saying should, but this is the plan that you sat with God about, and you said, Holy Spirit kind of laid this on you. I think it's a great plan. I think having the workshop, which they pay for, the boot camp, which is at a higher level, they invest in, and then the next step for them will be your Triumphant Wives of Purpose coaching program. I love that idea. And I had mentioned this this morning in the Good Morning Kingdom Coaches show, and shameless plug for all of you that are watching and do not know what that is. That is a show that we hold on Clubhouse, and we hold that on Clubhouse. But in the show, I talked about being me being a lifestyle coach. And one of the things that we do, and I know what you help your wives really develop the habits that will help shift their lifestyle into one where they are definitely finding intimacy with Christ so that they are able to really be effective and impactful with all their other relationships and all their other doings, living life. And so habits develop. It doesn't take long for a habit to develop, 30 days. And so in a boot camp, would you be able to help somebody with a habit? Yes. 30 days. 6-week boot camp is a little more than 30 days. So those are, that is long enough for somebody to develop a habit. And what I love about your the next step being your Triumphant Wives of Purpose group is now you are moving on into that lifestyle, which you are a lifestyle love coach. It's a longer period of time where they will be able to find success because you are holding them accountable. They themselves are holding themselves accountable. The other participants in the group, they've got and you have also a very interesting coaching model, which we don't have to talk about. They're just gonna have to tap in to find out. But you've got a very, very unique coaching model that will allow for the ultimate success for the wives that tap into that program. But I say that to say it also encompasses that lifestyle component. Now, before we hit record, you were talking about you were getting yourself together. We were getting together. And we were talking about style. Now, for those that are watching, they're like, well, she's talking about love. What this got to do with style? Talk about, can you share with everybody what you mean by that? And I think hearing what you're going to share will also expound upon the value of your program and why your program is going to be a benefit to this person. So talk about that style piece and what God was telling you about your area of coaching.
Okay, so with the style piece, right? So I am a New York native, right? Style is one of the style capitals, and that's always been a thing for me. I love, very passionate about it. I did it a lot worldly. I did a lot of image styling and things of that nature. Didn't know how to cross that over into doing it for Jesus, right? Doing it to glorify God, because God is about the inner beauty, right? The inner styling of your spirit man more than your outer man, right? And so God began to minister to me about the style of love, right? The style of love that flows into every area of your life, but the style of love that is God, because he is that. And so I am also the owner of Royal Garments of Glory, which is a prophetic apparel and accessory line. And so as I was just asking the Lord about that, like, okay, how do I fit that in? It turned into a rebrand, right? Because love is the royalness of God. It is the very essence of his character, his nature, and all that it is, in the majesty, the beauty, and who God is. And so he was just tying that all into the image, because many wives, right, they struggle with what they look like on the outside, but God wanted me to, this is where the conqueror, the enemy comes in, because we're dealing with the beauty, right? God loves the calm spirit, the gentle spirit, right? He says in 1 Peter chapter 3 about our adornings. Our adornings is not about fancy hairdos. It's not about, exquisite, apparel and things of that, and jewelry, but it is about the beauty of what's inside. That is the adorning. And when we adorn ourselves with God, with God and his love, right, then we adorn ourselves with his beauty. And so when we begin to style the inside, then now God can work on how that outward style is going to become. And so he started to transition me into my brand, because I thought my brand is about love. It's about the light of God. It's about the life of God, which is the truth of God. And so as I was going to do that, he was like, no, he may use that for something else. But he wants to now bring the royalty, because we are his royal priesthood. We are his heirs. We are his special possession, his special treasures. And so he transitioned me into the royal image of love, inward and outward, and that it would blend beautifully with coaching and image consulting and image styling, which is something that I love and enjoy. But he is throwing the elements of the spiritual image in that, as well as the outward image. And then I get to use my prophetic in the midst of that. And because I love to design, I get to now make custom things for the wives that come into my program. So they get a kingdom makeover in this whole process, right? Because the triumphant wife is not just, okay, I go, no, you get in a real makeover that's going to help you learn how to walk that out. Because a lot of the times we do things and don't realize that it requires maintenance, right? We know in the natural, right? You don't get your hair done once and that thing lasts for years, right? You got to keep going back, getting your hair done if you want it slayed, right? If you want your outward, your makeup, your nails, and all of that good stuff that we do as women, right? You got to go and maintain that. And in this, what he's doing with me now, marrying the coaching, the image consulting, and the maintenance of what that is, but the maintenance of what it takes inside, so that it reflects outwardly in a way that God is pleased. It is excellent. It's aligned with God's moral character and nature, and it represents him, the kingdom, as we represent him as his ambassadors. So yeah, so that is just like, I'm so excited about this part, y'all.
Wait, listen, so am I. Let me tell you why. Because, okay, so I do have a question to ask you. But before I do that, as you were talking, I was like, oh my goodness. So I know you and I in the past have talked about really playing on the word love and style and lifestyle and all of that. Let me throw this at you. I don't know what your no cost lead magnet is. If you have a no cost lead magnet, but I have a suggestion for you. So I'm excited about this style piece, and I think that would be a really good draw for people. They may be coming for style. A wife might be thinking, you know what, I'm ready to spice it up, or I'm ready to do things differently. I've been home these last couple of years with this pandemic. Look, I got on sweatshirt. I ain't wearing no makeup. I ain't wearing my boots. I ain't doing my thing. So and you sit with God on this one, but what if you had a love style challenge, a 5-day love style challenge? Now, there are many ways you can roll out challenges, but this is what I'm hearing and even will suggest for you, because our time is limited. We don't want to be having it like, look, we're busy. We're wives and we're moms, and we are busy. I would consider doing it via email. So an email every day, if they register for this love style challenge, every day you will send them a short video describing what that day's assignment is, and maybe have a worksheet, a nice branded worksheet that coincides with that day's assignment. Or maybe you can have as they sign up, they're able to download a workbook where throughout the week, as the challenge comes out, then they can fill in their workbook with their answers for that assignment. Then that way you can get people on your email list, and you can drive people to your workshop. So what would be the next step for them? The workshop. The next workshop is being held on day. Or I don't know how often you plan to hold the workshops, if this is going to be something that's quarterly, if this is going to be something that's monthly, but their next step would be connect with me on all these places and make sure you register for the workshop. You can get that on day 5. That is their next step, the workshop. And so just a thought, like a love style challenge. And there are many ways that you can roll out challenges, but the reason why I suggested that one is because I know that you're really involved with your children and sports. And that way you can just record the video on wherever and upload it to listen, all the levels here, not just for you, Coach Leteisha, but for everybody else that's watching now. But you can have that uploaded to an unlisted YouTube channel and have that link, so that when that next automated email comes out, put them in a workflow. They sign up to be, they sign up for the challenge. It goes into a workflow. And so they get the first email, then they get day 1, they get day 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. On day 5, they're all ready to sign up for your workshop. But you can pre-record the videos, of course, 5 minutes, no more than 10 minutes each video, because we live in this instant society where people want quick answers and they want everything quick. But have a video explanation, maybe also the written explanation of what it is that you're talking about, any scriptures that you have, and put that in that workflow. And that way, while you're at the basketball tournaments, people are signing up for your challenge, and you're the basketball mom, and they're doing it, and it's automated. So just a suggestion. Again, there are many ways that you can roll out challenges, but that one doesn't require that you have to show up each and every time. Self-paced. Well, I'm saying self-paced, but people can register for that challenge at their convenience. So just a thought.
That's good. That's really good. That is really, really good. And as I was sitting today with the Lord, just looking at, just going back to a lot of my content, because I was thinking of a love challenge. And then I'm thinking for my private Facebook group. And so I was thinking like, Lord, how can I just roll out a nice love challenge? And so he'd given me just doing morning inspiration, love inspiration. Right. So that's something that I'm excited. I'll be implementing next week. Like, look, I ain't even there's no weight in this process, y'all. So for all of y'all that's like trying to be like, I'm gonna wait until this, listen, on this train, when God is giving you stuff, he's giving it to you because he needs you to take action in faith. He needs you to be swift. And I'm telling you, as I'm doing these things, you guys have no idea how it has just really propelled so many other things, because as he gives it to me, I'm like, okay, now my flesh do be wanting to be like, I'll wait. Cause like she said, I'm a basketball mom for real, for real. And so that schedule, he's on varsity, it gets rigorous. So of course my human body is tired. So I'm just like, tag, I don't know if I feel like doing that. But I'm telling you, the moment you yield and obey, yeah, it just opens up more. So
I got one other idea. I'm so glad that it happens earlier in the year, but also, again, you're the love style coach. With Valentine's Day coming up in February, maybe you can do even like a longer challenge that coincides to the same thing, and it funnels people the same way, but do like a Valentine's love challenge. This one can even be done, like you mentioned, your Facebook group. Do a pop-up Facebook group. I know another coach in our community. She grows her email list and she also has a membership community. She grows her email list and her membership community by having pop-up Facebook groups. And so what if you had like a pop-up preparing for Valentine's Day, 14 days to get your love whatever going, you can figure this out, but ask people, and it's not too early to start getting people on board for that, and that gives you plenty of time. Again, you don't have to show up for that. You can just have some pre-recorded videos, what today's challenge is, some scriptures, things leading up to Valentine's Day as well. So there's a lot of ways. Good. Yeah, a lot of things you can do with that, because God is love. And so there's lots of holidays where we get to celebrate God and celebrate his love. And so we don't have to wait until February to do it, but I mean, it's here with all the hearts and the pink and the purple and the reds and all of that. We may as well take advantage of what that season brings. Okay. So yeah, that would be my suggestion. If you don't already have a low cost or a no cost lead magnet, that would be a great one. Because here's the other thing. I know you show up in a lot of places, and the reality is people are like, okay, this is a very intimate subject and a touchy subject. And people may not be so quick and willing to embark on that. But if you give them a little, okay, I'm going to try this and see how this goes, that might be what drives them now to sign up for that masterclass for you. Okay. So I wanted to make that suggestion. Now, let me ask you this. Again, so we had the Impeccable Impact Community. It doesn't have the final version of it, but we have the Scale to Soar mini course that I did for an exclusive group of people earlier in the year. And the videos are housed in the mentorship community. But we talked about having a core offer. We talked about having that one offer that you drive people to. And as a result of that one offer, now they're able to experience you in other ways. Have you, and if you haven't right now, that's okay. I just want to get you reminded of this, but have you thought about what your core offer is? What is that one thing that you can drive all your, like that one thing? Hey, get my this. Hey, sign up for my that. What is that one thing that will kind of be the domino effect for your business to catapult? What is that one service or that one class or that one group? What is that one thing? Have you identified that?
No, that's another thing. I think I need to identify that. As I'm thinking on, I was thinking that it could possibly be the strategy call, because that can be the one core thing that helps people to identify those inner me's, so that they can now already be ushered into the abundance of love that God wants to overflow in every area of their life. So when I'm just thinking about like what would, as you were speaking, I'm thinking what could be that one offer, because in that strategy can also be the love assessment, right? So now once we identified those enemies, now let's look at your love assessment and what that looks like in every area of your life. And so being able, like that strategy call can probably identify all the blocks and the hindrances, because people, you know, the enemy makes us fearful because of trust issues, betrayals, especially in marriage. I am a wife who had the betrayal in her marriage, right? And so how do you get over that? Like, how do you conquer that? Like, how do you get past that where there's still not the lingering offense of the betrayal, right? Because many of the times when we don't go through the healing process, the enemy finds ways to come back in there and seek, you know, he seeks to devour. So he's still finding that entryway that's going to give him access to now create something around the betrayal, right? Even though if it may not even be that, he's good at making you believe something that's not when you're not healed.
I think the call is a great core offer for you. Okay. And so just go with me here. Okay. I think the core offer is great. And so with that, every time you talk, your call to action should always be book a call, book a call, book a call. I'm even going to, okay, so this is not how you probably have thought this through, and this don't have to be, but I just want you to consider this. This is how I would do it if I were you. I would have the book a call as the primary core offer, the primary call to action. And you might even throw this one in here. And hey, you know what? If you're not ready to book a call, I wouldn't mention because you can't afford it. I wouldn't say that. I just would be like, and you know what? If booking a call right now is a little something that you're just not ready for, then make sure that you get in on my challenge. Okay. So at least you get them on your email list and you're still able to nurture them. Okay. All right. So I think the book a call is great. I'm going to tell you this. I wouldn't do the workshop. I would take the book a call and get them in your boot camp. I would have the next step for them, the boot camp. Now you can do the workshop if you want to, but I wouldn't make that part of I regularly roll out these workshops. I would just go for the boot camp. And I don't know what your rate is. You don't have to tell me because it may continue to change and evolve over time. And I don't know when people are going to see this, but I would have the call. The next step would be my 6-week boot camp. It is at this, that, and that rate. And if somebody says, well, I don't like big group settings. Well, I've got one-on-one coaching. And then you explain to them what that one-on-one coaching looks like and let them know, of course, that one-on-one access to me and everything that goes into it will request a much higher investment. Maybe you can offer financing with a financing company. Maybe you can offer payment plans. But I would have that 4-week boot camp as the call to action after the call with them. That's what I would do. And then, of course, the call to action after the boot camp be the program, the Triumphant Wives of Purpose program, which is much longer, offers a much higher value than even the boot camp does. Of course, the investment is going to be more, and that way, the clients, the women are going to get the results, and you will get paid. So, I mean, let us not skip over the fact that this is also business. Okay. Right. So, I sit with God on that. Now, I'm not saying don't do the workshop because every now and again, people like a good workshop, right? Mm-hmm. And I think being flexible and being able to offer workshops if God gives you something new, you're like, hey, I got a workshop on this thing. Use the workshop as God downloads things to you. Use that to test new content that you can then add to your higher level program.
Okay, that's
what I would. Yeah, that's what I would use that for, because I personally I know when and let me suggest that you pre-schedule when your boot camps are. Okay, schedule when you're going to have them so that you can set goals and begin to work on those goals like ASAP. So if you know that you're going to have a boot camp once a quarter, reverse engineer how many people you need to be on a call with, or how many people, start reverse engineering what your marketing for that looks like. Okay. When it's time to have those boot camps, okay, when it's time to have those boot camps, I would recommend that, yes, you advertise the boot camp, but remembering that the call is the core offer. And so as you advertise the boot camp, when it's like time for them, I would say, and if you don't know if this boot camp is ready for is right for you, book a call, which they will have to invest in. Okay.
Okay. That works.
That would be my suggestion to you.
Okay.
So I know I gave you a lot.
No. I got my notes down, honey, because a lot, what you said, a lot of it is really in alignment with what God was sitting when I was just sitting down asking him, like, what's the segue? How do I, get all of these elements into the bigger thing, right? Because we know sometimes people are not, but the boot camp gives people a way to, one, work with me, right? And then realize, like, whoa, I didn't realize all this was going to come up here. I need to go deeper, because once those enemies of the enemy come up, you got to know what to do with that. You need to be equipped to do it. You need to understand how that's going to come back, how it's going to surface, right? Because we don't get to do that without a fight, right? The enemy ain't going to say, oh, you just want to ask me out, like, okay. We don't realize the inner agreements that we make, right? And so now what? I remember when I was going through my process, I didn't have a whole bunch of things. I didn't have a coach walking alongside of me. So the fact that God allowed me to experience such a thing that was going to birth something so great out of me, I mean, who but God? But I thank God that he found me trustworthy to be able to do that, and to be able to be the one to represent him in the beautiful essence of his love to do so. So it's just amazing how he utilizes things for something even greater. You just have to be willing to yield and submit. So great for that. This is good.
Yeah.
Right.
All righty. So I think you've got enough to get you going. And so I'm excited, and can't wait to hear how this rolls out, and the successes that you will gain as a result of this. And so for everybody that's watching on YouTube, please make sure again that you tap into Coach Leteisha. As you can hear, like, this is amazing. I'm excited about this. Like, I might need a call. She's talking about style and love and all the things. But make sure that you tap into Coach Leteisha. And I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video down, because Coach Leteisha, we got to talk about our retreat. Listen, y'all don't know yet, but we have a retreat coming up. Some really great news just came down the pike, and we got to talk about this retreat that we're going to be having, right?
Yes.
In July of 23. So that being said, Coach Leteisha, thanks so much. I'll make sure that everybody has your the links to connect with you. And this has been another great hot seat coaching. You got anything you want to say?
Listen, y'all, get the hot seat coaching. This is going to really help you get the momentum to move you in the trajectory of where God is calling to you in business. Listen, it's time for us kingdom business owners to show up in these marketplace streets winning, right? We already won, right? Because we know who the victor is, but we got to do our part and show up in the stance of that, so we can just be winning for the glory in the kingdom of God. So I'm excited. Thank you. I'm so thankful for this opportunity. So y'all don't miss out on it.
Yeah. All righty. Let me go ahead and end this. Y'all take care. We'll see you later.